Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. It's good to see everybody. I want to welcome everybody that's on the channel. If it's your first time here, we want you to be our honored guest. We are glad to see you guys. We're glad to be back together on another Friday night. Wherever you're watching the channel, if you will, hit the like, subscribe button. It pushes the video out. It helps us out, and we appreciate it. It's good to see you, and it's good to see you guys. How you guys doing? Kipp, you doing all right tonight, buddy?
Man, I'm doing wonderful. Just got off work for the weekend. Was able to go for a run real quick, and literally within 10 minutes, jump in, make some food real quick, pig out, and then get in here and get ready to chat with y'all. I love chatting with y'all every week. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, start of the weekend here, Saturday morning. Looking forward to relaxing into this live stream with you guys and having a good old chat. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Larry, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I've been busy today, very busy, and I've been looking forward to this very much so. And I wanted to say hi to everybody watching, no matter where you're watching from. Glad you guys are here on the replay too. What's up, family? And it's good to see all three of you. And let's rock and roll, Sean.
Absolutely, man. So Larry? How's that no coffee going, brother? Like day one, right?
It's going.
Oh
No
yeah.
coffee. Yeah, we cleared off the counter. I mean, Cassie had like an entire espresso bar going on. It took so much counter space up, and now it's like, whoa, where'd everything go? Got rid of the coffee pot, got rid of everything. So on the plus side, we have a lot more counter space. No headaches yet. You know, the last time I quit coffee, I really got a headache on day 3, but we're combating that with some caffeine pills this time, and we're gonna do it, man.
Nice, awesome. Are either the blah 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 blah, or either of the other two of you guys jumping in on that? Y'all doing anything special for September or no challenges or anything?
I was gonna say that I consider myself part of Larry and them's challenge as well because they kind of made it to where you could do whatever kind of works for you. But inside of that, I'm also doing what we come up with called the sea lion diet, which is basically just it's basically like renaming the lion diet, but then
Mhm.
adding seafood to it. So it's lion diet with seafood. So, but it's a good test for me because, like, Sean, like there's been times that I've like either went off the wagon or had things that I shouldn't have or whatever. So it's a good chance for me to clean things up. And I'm even getting rid of spices for the month. I'm only doing salt and things, which I've already quit coffee, so I don't have to worry about that. But it is going to be harder to stay away from all the other different meats that are easy to eat this month besides beef and seafood. What about you, Dave?
For me, I'm doing it's not really a challenge because I'm actually making myself, well, not making myself, I'm actually eating more. So I'm transitioning from OMAD to 2MAD.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I for the last 15 months almost, I've been eating just breakfast. And in the last 2 weeks, I've been getting really hungry in the evenings. And so now I'm having breakfast at about 7 a.m. and dinner at about 10 p.m. And yeah, so gone from about a pound of beef a day to 2 pounds of beef a day.
Oh nice.
So yeah.
That's kind of where I've been too, man. I have been eating. I went from eating 2 times a day to eating 3 times a day, and I just for whatever reason can't get enough. I keep like thinking this is just a phase. Maybe the weather change. Maybe I have been a lot more active. Like I went outside in South Carolina. We have had like what we call melt weather. So you walk outside and you instantly begin to melt. So I went out like right after work. It was like 3:30 and pushed. I have almost 2 acres, and I pushed it with a push mower and like start to finish. And then like every day this week, that's what I've been doing, going outside and just doing stuff outside. the heat doesn't bother me, man, honestly, but like I've been like sweating, like I come in and just wring my clothes out. Maybe that's why I'm eating so much, just because I'm using up so much energy and sweating and stuff. I don't know.
Mm.
But Larry knows, you know what I'm talking about, dude. Has it not been melt weather? I mean,
Yeah, it's been very, very warm. The entire time Cassie was down in Florida, we didn't have any rain, so everything got really dry, and then everything started baking. But last couple of days, it's cooled off a little bit, and but yeah, for a little while there, it was really hot. There was like 3 or 4 days I didn't go out much. It was boiling.
Mm.
I gotta say, Larry, come on down here to Alabama.
Yeah, a lot more humid, right?
It's hot.
And
Nope. Absolutely.
didn't you have blackouts at one point, Kip? Didn't you lose, like, you had no air conditioning and stuff at one point?
Well, that was a while back. Sean might have, or Larry might have recently. I did like a couple months ago. We had a severe storm come through and we lost power for like 2 days.
Oh, wow.
yeah, when
And
the
Sean
storms
and
go,
Larry, did you lose it too?
No.
I lost power one day. I lost internet for like 2 days when a storm came through. But when with the hurricane that was supposed like closing in on us, we just got a little rain, some wind, but nothing major. But yeah, I guess I should have said too, before we go much further. If you guys have any questions, as always, if you're new, you don't know, it is what it is. Put a Q by your question so that we know, like this right here, for example. So that we, well, of course, I hit the wrong thing.
Hey, Tracy.
Yeah. Hey,
Tracy.
Tracy, good to see you. If you'll put a Q by it, it's easy for me to see because my eyes, for whatever reason, like I have the settings set on my computer still at minimal. I need a magnifying glass, and these aren't good enough. But nevertheless, that way we can see your question. We want to get to them as soon as possible. But yeah. It's good to see some. I mean, there's 160 folks already in here. It's so
Wow.
good to see everybody. So
Absolutely.
we're glad you guys are piling in. Oh, there you go. Starting off running tap 12. Do you have an opinion on what alcohol is the lesser of evils? I don't know. Kit, what you got on that, man? What do you think about alcohol?
Man, for me, all of them's evil. Like I'm the last person to answer that question because I quit drinking like 6 years ago, probably. So
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't research it once I started Carnivore because I knew that I wasn't going back to drinking anyway. So I mean, there
Right.
might be some of these other guys might be able to help you with that. What about you, Larry?
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody on this panel has been sober for quite a while, so I don't know if we can really answer that for you. I know, like clear uh, liquors, like I mean, right, guys, like vodka. I mean, that's more better than having whiskey, and I'm not sure, but I say don't have any of it. It is poison, and I call it the devil's juice. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard similar to what you just said there, Larry. Like the clear ones are meant to be the lesser of the evils, but I mean, at the end of the day, for me, they're all evil. Sean, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I actually do. So number one, I would, if I had to answer it, I would say rubbing alcohol. Just when you get a cut, you can clean it up with a little rubbing alcohol and be done with it. Secondly, like I have never seen anything good come from it. I'm not saying it's evil, it's wrong, it's whatever it is, what it is. I'm just saying, like, I try my best to add things to my life, especially at this point in my life, that benefit or add something to my life. And I never really have seen, I used to get drunk stupid and, whatever. And like, honestly, I just don't want that anymore. So, yeah, and obviously I have an addicted personality. So, I just can't, I'm not a moderator. And I think a lot of people find that out that the, if you're not a moderator, the last thing you need to do is things like that. But nevertheless, so that's my thing on the alcohol. The clear, like Larry said, the clear, if you're going to do it, probably your best bet. Even Dr. Barry mentioned, I've heard him say many times, don't drink your what is it? How does he say it? don't drink your calories or whatever it is. It's just not beneficial to you. So I get it. Some people are going to do it no matter what. I guess you'd have to just research a little more, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. All of us here have a pretty negative opinion about alcohol because it really, I mean, in some way, almost destroyed our lives.
Mhm.
And like my kids drink, my oldest son drinks, has a beer once in a while, and it's cool, but just for
Mhm.
some people, it's not a good thing. So that's why we're all kind of like, anyway, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, man. We got some more. Look, hey, what's up, carnivorous dude?
What's up,
Um,
dude?
not, is high meat diet the reason your appendix acts up? Dave, what do you think about that, man?
I'm not sure, but I would say, I mean, I'm gonna guess no, because like your appendix is a vestigial organ, right? It's
Yeah.
like, so I'm gonna guess no, but I'm not sure. Kip,
Yeah.
any ideas?
Man, I was just sitting over here thinking I don't even know where your appendix is located, so I'm not sure. I'm
It's
definitely
like
not a doctor.
here,
Where's
no.
Dr. Chafee at when you need him? Go ahead, Larry. You answer it.
All I know about the appendix is my wife's burst and she almost died from it. She had to have emergency surgery. And that was long before we were on the carnivore diet. That's when we were feeding ourselves a bunch of garbage. I've never heard anybody having a problem in the 2.5 years I've been in the carnivore community. Never heard anybody having a problem with their appendix, but because of the carnivore diet. But that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. Dave.
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah,
honestly,
definitely.
Sorry.
yeah, no, it's hard. Like, we're none of us are doctors, so you're not going to get medical advice for one. Second, which you know that, but nevertheless, as far as the high meat diet, no, the high meat diet is going to give you the nutrition that your body needs to function properly. Does it make you invincible? Absolutely not. Are you still going to have problems? Are you going to get a headache every once in a while at work because you were staring at a computer screen? Of course. Like, there's going to be things in your life that go wrong. Could your appendix mess up? Absolutely. How many years did we give ourselves stuff that was contrary to what our body needs to function properly? So, I mean, we've done damage. The extent of that damage, we just don't know. And what a lot of people see going on is they'll switch over to a carnivore diet or a ketogenic way of eating, and it starts healing their body, but the damage was already done. A great example of this is gallstones and kidney stones. You can have a gallstone or a kidney stone in place. You start a ketogenic diet, and it starts shrinking the size of the stone, making the stone able to be passed at that point. So you pass it and you think, well, man, I've been eating this carnivore diet or this ketogenic way of eating, and now I've got these gallstones and now I've got these kidney stones. When in fact, it was healing the issue that you previously created, and you're attributing it to the carnivore way of eating. So don't look at it like that. No, I don't think it's cause will mess your appendix up. I don't think the proper human diet is going to mess anything up in your body. I think that was done previously, or the damage was done previously. And if there's any way of fixing it or any way of making it better, the best way to do that is going to be giving your body the proper nutrition that it needs to function appropriately. And so that's about the best I got for you, my friend. Oh, so, like, have you guys had surgery, like Dave? I mean, I know you talk a good bit even like about your stroke. Have you had any other surgery on gallbladder or anything like that?
I haven't, no. Larry or Kip?
Are you talking before, like any time in my life, or?
Yeah, like have you got your gallbladder taken out or anything like that? Any
No,
kind of
the
surgery?
only thing surgery I had was I had a colonoscopy about 7, 8 years ago, and this is right after I got sober, as a matter of fact. And they they perforated my colon, and
Mm.
they cut. I had some polyps, and they cut it too thin, and I actually was ended up in the hospital 2 days later in emergency surgery, and they had to cut me from my waist to my sternum and clean all the because my colon was leaking,
Mhm.
excrement into my cavity, and yeah, I mean, they told me if I hadn't gotten there within a couple hours, I would have been dead. So it was a pretty brutal scar. And the funny thing, this was 4 months after Cassie had her appendix rupture. So she has
Oh.
the exact same scar from waist to sternum. And it's kind of, like she had that done. And then I was her bed nurse taking care of her. And then 4 months later, I had the exact same thing happen in a different way.
Wow.
And it was
Mm.
crazy, man. But yeah, that's the only, it wasn't even my fault. But that's the only surgery I had.
Hope you got a refund. Got your money back for the first one.
No refund, nothing. And I did talk to a lawyer, and he said that one in every 1,000 colonoscopies that happens, and you signed a waiver. And I was like, okay,
Oh.
yep.
Kit, what about you, man? You had any surgeries, man? Like before carnivore?
I've dodged a lot of bullets and haven't had to have one so far.
Yeah, me neither. Like I haven't either. I fractured T7 and T8 in my vertebrae, got cut under my chin, and all the way down my arm. In December the 3rd of 2000, in a car wreck, I flipped a Buick Skylark, and ended
Wow.
up in the hospital for 2 weeks, and then rehab for about 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, so I mean, I never have had to have surgery. Honestly, other than the T7 and the T7 and T8 fracture that I have, my spine fractured out instead of in. If it had went in as far as it did out, I'd be paralyzed because it would have been in on my cord. So I've dodged a lot of bullets as well, but I've never really had to have surgery other than like oral surgery and stuff like that with teeth, having teeth removed, stuff like that. Uh, fortunate, Fortunately,
Right.
Crazy Web, Weeb, good to see you. What are some low income options for carnivore? Also, can you say hi to my mom, Angela Russell? She's a huge fan and she watches all of you guys. Well, hey Angela, it's good to see you. And
Angela.
Hey, Angela.
absolutely.
Hey,
Thank
Angela, what's up?
you. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. So what do you guys got for as far as low income options, stuff that's affordable, easy? I know Larry's got a video. I've seen it. Um but what you want to talk about that a little bit, Larry?
Well, the video is the top 10 carnivore foods on a budget. It's a countdown video, something a little different. You guys might never seen, so just search that on our channel. But I mean, as far as chuck roast is really cheap. We eat a lot of chuck roast, ground beef. That's a great economy. Let's see what else. Eggs, especially they've gone down in price again. They were getting expensive there for a while, but those are probably our three go-tos as far as cheap cuts of meat. We'll sprinkle in a ribeye here and there, but Kip, you're the master cast iron. You got any other ones?
Well, I mean, a lot of people they just assume that like we eat ribeyes every day or whatever. That's not the case. But so I mean, for example, this week I've been eating chuck roast out of we did it in the cast iron Dutch oven, and then so I've been eating that all week, and then tonight I made sirloin. It was a big sirloin that come from a local cow that was sourced locally, and so I pretty much had that. I don't get all my meat like that, but I mean, I had the option to get that meat from a family member for free, and I was like, I'll definitely take it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you can find different cuts of meat that are cheap, and hamburger meat's cheap or pretty cheap. And like he said, eggs and there's a lot of other things. It doesn't have to be a ribeye every meal. What about you, Dave?
Yeah. Everything's, relatively more expensive in Japan, but basically, if you go for the ground beef, you go for the eggs, it's going to be the cheapest you can get. That's. I guess you could probably go around to your local butcher as well and get the offcuts. Just say, keep all that stuff, and don't throw it away, and I'll buy it off you or whatever, and you'll probably get it for free. Other than that, I'm not sure. Sean.
Oh, so like I don't know, man. I'm probably the worst one to ask, and here's the reason why. Like I literally had a video come out today. I went and did an interview with Dr. Kiltz. Love Dr. Kiltz. It was amazing. A podcast on his channel, and I made mention of eating for less than $17 to $20 a day, which I 100% do. And one of the very first comments I got was some guy saying I'm not getting ribeyes, 2-pound ribeyes for $15 a pound. So I literally went to my butcher shop today and had him cut a rib roast, and I got he says 17 ribeyes and two cat pieces, and it was like I think $234. So if you have your calculator and enough fingers, you can do the math, and it equals out to about $14 and some change. So yeah, I have a couple of eggs. So if you do $14 for a ribeye and a couple of eggs, you're under $20, exactly like I said. And for that guy, whoever you are, who wanted to call me out, you can get back in touch with me and we'll talk then. As
Hey,
far as
Sean,
yeah,
I'd like to add too, for people that like to like anytime you're cooking larger pieces of meat, those are the ones that people are scared to cook, or they're intimidated by it. So that's even why barbecue become a thing, because those big pieces of meat were cheaper to cook and you could feed a lot of people. So I mean, if you're not scared to cook things like pork butts or brisket, your larger pieces of meat, you can meal prep with that stuff. Like if you cook a brisket, you got a lot of meals right there. So and you can get that stuff cheaper per pound than a lot of other meats that are out there, like way cheaper than ribeye and stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to add that too. Around the holidays, you can get rib roast super cheap and cut up your own steaks. This past Christmas, we we spent like $700 on ribeye, and it lasted us probably 5-6 months between me and Cassie. So during the holidays is an awesome time to pick up stuff if you have the freezer room.
Yeah. Well, and two, I do want to, I wanted to make mention of the fact that, like, honestly, what these guys said are great, and I agree 100%. Either way, if you get on a ketogenic way of eating, especially like what I do, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, or carnivore, whatever, or even lion for that matter, you're going to be satiated to the point to where you're naturally going to eat less. And but it's not going to be like I'm having to fast and starve myself. It's going to be like, I can't look at another piece of meat because I'm so full. I feel so good and I have so much energy that you're going to just reduce the amount of times you eat naturally. And if you reduce how many times you eat, it takes less, you're healthier, and it's going to last longer. So where you used to eat 3, 4, have a snack, you're naturally going to save money that way. So that's gonna be a better option for you as well. Like Ken Berry says, like every one of these guys have said, eat what you can afford. It doesn't have to be ribeye. I know that I catch slack sometimes because that's all I eat. It didn't start off that way. It kind of morphed into that. But like honestly, it doesn't have to be ribeye. It can be what you can afford to eat. And go from there. Any of it's a better option than the standard American diet. And like I said, the nutrition is going to be that much more beneficial. It's going to be worth it.
Yeah, and overall, we spend way less money on the carnivore diet than we did on the standard American diet. How about you guys? You guys spend less or more?
I spend less because I
Way
don't go
less.
get I used to go get ice cream and all that other stuff and Dr. Peppers and all that and get a big sweet tea at McDonald's or wherever.
Yep.
And so now all that money that I'm saving, because I just drink water now, and then not getting all the sweets and all that stuff. And of course, if you go out to eat, sometimes it can cost a little bit more. So you got to be careful when you're going out to eat. But if you're cooking a lot of meals at home, Like, you can do this on a budget. You can definitely do it, even on a shoestring budget if you have to.
Mhm.
What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I agree. I'm saving so much more money. I'm not snacking anymore. I sat down and worked it out once, and you know, I don't know, I'm saving about, you know, $20 a day or something, just from the going to the convenience store, getting an energy bar, coming back, eating it, and then going, still hungry. I'm gonna go and buy something else, you know. And it's just this thing that goes on and on and on, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're satiated all the time. It's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like, I'm off at least 1, 2, 3, at least 5 medications. So I'm saving those 5 medications every single month. I'm saving the reoccurring visits and testing for those things. Honestly, I could care less if I go to the doctor. Like, I don't need the doctor to write me the script to get my refills, like, for medications that I'm not taking anymore. There's so many, things to that it's beneficial, I feel like. So it's not just, the food. You're going to save it in more ways than one, I believe. So I hope that helps. Thanks for the question. Um, has any of your eyesight changed since carnivore? My eyesight has gotten better. Dave. I mean, Dave. What about you?
Mine has, but maybe not in the way that regularly or you may be talking about. So because of the stroke that I had, I've got a bit of double vision. Like, if I'm not looking at you directly on, then when I do look at you out of the corner of my eye or something, there'll be two of you. And that has improved quite a bit since I've been on carnivore. So I still get it, but like, I have to be at a steeper angle to experience the double vision now. So yeah. Kip, how about you?
Well, I've been wearing the same pair of glasses for like 3 or 4 years probably. I'm just waiting on them to break at any moment. So, I mean, I haven't really noticed anything, but I will say y'all do have me kind of curious to go get my eyes checked now, because I mean, there could have been a change, and I've just been so used to wearing the glasses that I haven't noticed it. But regardless, if even if not, like, everything else on this journey, I mean, I'm sticking with it. What about you, Larry?
My eyes have gotten worse, but that's just my age. My eyes started. I got my first set of glasses like 3 years ago, and they've gotten worse. And I think a lot of that has to do with all the time I put into editing and staring at a screen and social media, and so. But I have heard many testimonies of people who their eyesight has actually improved. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. Sean.
Yeah, my eyes, despite even wearing glasses tonight, I don't wear them as much. My eyes used to get real glossy, and they would just water, and just like, it was so bad. A lot of times they would, like, I don't know, just, it would look like I was just crying, and I wasn't. It was just for whatever reason. I guess I always say I had so much inflammation it was coming out my eyes, literally. My vision is getting clearer. These glasses are the glasses that I had before the black rim ones that I wear, and they're a not as strong prescription. That's why a lot of times you'll see me in these versus those, because those are almost too strong. Like, I can tell a difference in that these feel better on my eyes. I called actually and set up an appointment to go get my eyes checked, but they can't see me till like the 24th of October or something. I'm like, good gracious, at the people getting eyes checked. But I guess I should probably find another spot. But nevertheless, I'm anxious to kind of see how much they've improved, according to them. So um, I don't know yet, but I feel like they have. See better too. Oh, let's see. Drax of the North. I have been keto for 3 years, carnivore for 6 months. My ketones rarely rise above zero point 0.5. I would like to increase my ketones for health reasons. Can this be accomplished on carnivore without fasting? I honestly, I don't know if you guys. I'll answer this one first. Like, I don't. I will say that I have not tracked ketone. Number one, you're using your ketones. You're not gonna expel them out mostly, unless you have a way to check them other than like the urine strips. I don't. I don't know what to tell you about that. As far as like, and I never worried about that either. But as I could understand why you'd be concerned with it. I don't know how you would get your ketones up any other way than just putting fat and protein into your body. So, have any of you guys tracked your ketones or measured them throughout the time that you've been on carnivore?
So I haven't
Mhm.
on carnivore. And the reason I don't is because when I first started doing low carb back in the day, I was tracking it like crazy, and it was literally driving me crazy, because you can't ever get to a point where it stays stable, it's like a roller coaster all the time. And
Mhm.
so, if you're like, well, if I'm not getting a deep purple color on my testing strips, then, the world's ending, then, you're constantly going to be in this state of depression about how your ketone levels are too low. So I'm not sure the health reasons that you want to increase your ketones, but honestly, I would be carnivore is probably the best thing for you, eating fat and protein, but I would be trying not to focus on it too much because you just drive yourself up the wall. Larry, got any thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, Drax of the North. That's a pretty cool name. I dig that.
Mhm.
I tracked my ketones quite a bit when we were doing our fast February. I fasted for 14 days and I got up to a 7 on my ketone meter. But when I'm just, normally I'm running on carnivore, I usually run about any anywhere my around point 1.3 is where I run, when I'm in a deep state of ketosis. So, oh, is she in ketosis? I just saw her pop up there. But
Yeah,
Drax,
I'm
yeah.
trying to get her to go back to her room. I'm about to hit mute.
Oh, you good? Yeah, but Drax, I like to check once in a while, just out of curiosity. That fast February is the whole reason we got that keto mojo meter.
I'll be
And
right back.
yes, sir.
All right.
And but it's really your preference, But as far as getting your ketones up, I don't know what the deal is with that because when I'm eating strict, clean carnivore, I run about 1 to 1.3. John?
Oh, yeah. I don't track. I haven't tracked, but like honestly, I hope you get them answers, my friend. Um, Oh, let's see here. Thanks for the question. In Canada, question: do men have better and faster results than women who do carnivore? I'm just not seeing results after 13 weeks. Um, it's hard to say. I guess it depends on who and what they have to heal and where they start out at and what's going on in their life and how dedicated they are and how consistent they are and if they stay on track and how their sleep is and how their medications they're on affects them and how their hormones are and you know what their activity levels like and how much time they spend in the sun and you know everybody starts at a different level and honestly everybody there's differences. Everybody knows the differences between men and women at this point in at the conversation. So I've seen some women like my friend Lindy, who's done amazing. If you haven't seen her story, she has a channel called Limitless Lindy. You should definitely check her out. She lost like 400 pounds in 4 months. Like I've never heard of anything like that. I mean, it's insane how much weight she lost as fast as she did. I lost, 269 in a little over a year. Reversed a lot of health issues. So, I mean, it's hard to say. Everybody's so different. My main thing would be like, just like with Lindy and just like with myself and just like these guys here often, that you hear from who have great tips and advice. Let's focus on what we can affect. Let's focus on the consistency of changing our life regardless of the what's going on. Does that make sense? Maybe you have something healing that you don't know about. Um, I don't know, but just stick with it. Hang in there. Don't get discouraged. Keep your head up and keep pushing forward. Because it will come. What can be healed will be healed. Just keep searching for the answers. Larry, you got anything for that? Add to that?
I can just add my personal experience. Cassie and I started the carnivore diet at the same time, and man, I lost weight way faster than she did. So, but then I hit a stall for a long time, and she continued to lose weight. So, and I stalled for like a year, and she just consistently lost, 2 pounds a month, 4 pounds a month, where I was stuck. But in the beginning, I just, I destroyed her. We had a little competition between husband and wife. And
You better
I used to
duck.
joke, yeah, I used to joke to her, I'm gonna be lighter than you. Oh, and she's like, no, that's not gonna happen. But what Sean said's right. Really depends on, where you're at in your journey. But I think overall consensus is men can lose weight faster. If you were starting at the same, in the same area, but so many variables. Dave, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I really agree. Like, from what I've heard, I think, yeah, men can lose weight a little bit faster, but it really just depends. There's so many little nuances about your particular situation that, it's hard to say. And didn't, for example, I've forgotten her first name. Hogan. I've forgotten her first name.
Kelly?
Kelly Hogan didn't she was on the diet for months before she actually started seeing results, physical results, because there's a lot of healing going on inside, right? So you just never know. So I'm not sure. I don't know. Kipp, you've just come back. Maybe
Yeah, he doesn't get to answer
Yeah.
this.
Well, I mean, I read the question. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is my mic super loud?
It was
No.
super loud. It was
It's
awesome.
okay now.
It's okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It was
All right.
like a
Well,
transformer.
based off the question, do you have better fast results in women? I mean, it's going to vary from person to person, but I'm learning to regardless of how fast it is or how slow it is, if you still got to do it anyway, stop worrying about the time. Just do it, and the weight's going to come off when it needs to come off. I mean, I would love to lose my weight faster because I've only lost close to around 100 pounds, and I would love to have lost more than I've lost. But I mean, we just got to give it time and let your body heal and let your body. The weight's going to come off when it needs to. The real question is, are you fueling your body with what it needs? If you fuel your body with what it needs, it'll take care of itself. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman.
Well
Amen.
said.
Good stuff.
No.
Hey, there's Nicole. What's up, Nicole? How are each of you spending your Labor Day weekend? Dave, what you got, man? You do anything special?
It'll be a normal weekend for me. Monday's a work day, so yeah, just normal weekend for me. Larry, how about you?
Same here. I mean, Cassie and I will cook up some good food, and we got some work to do on the channel. But our kids might stop by, might have a dinner with everybody. But as far as traveling, no. Kipp, what about you, man?
Well, I live in the SEC country, so if you don't know what that is, it's college football in the South, and so I'm going to be doing a lot of watching football this weekend.
That's awesome. Yeah, so in the morning at 11 o'clock, I'll be talking with my buddy Chuck Brooks, Carnivore Chuck, who wrote this book right here. He's also a carnivore, and So I got that planned, and then Monday I'm gonna be talking with some backwoods carnivore, and Tuesday I got the UK I got stuff lined up to do with the channel, so y'all gonna be seeing a lot of me, and so hopefully you guys can all jump in and join and stuff like that if you're available. And that's all I'm gonna be doing this weekend, relaxing and talking and seeing my brother and stuff like that. So full schedule. Oh man, it's good. Good to see you. Let's see, Sean, what's up? Does anyone have some ideas for a carnivore road trip food? Larry, what you got, man? You guys went on a road
Uh,
trip.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, what's up, Sean? By the way, yeah, bacon's a big one, or it depends if you're eating cheese or not. A nice little thing to have was some deli meat, wrapped around some cheese. That's easy to store in an ice chest, and it's really good. Some low carb or you want zero sugar beef jerky, which is kind of expensive, but bacon's a big one for us. And if you got a little bit of a longer drive, hamburger patties, call them hockey pucks. Just eat them cold. They don't have to be heated. When you're really hungry, it doesn't matter. And pork rinds. Pork rinds are good for the car. So you got anything else you eat on the road, Kip?
Well, back to your jerky, I would say jerky for sure, but if you're gonna be on the carnivore diet and you plan on doing this for your life, I would suggest that you learn how to make some of that stuff yourself because it's gonna save you a lot of money. So, if you got a smoker, that's great, you can make smoked jerky, but if you don't have a smoker, get you a dehydrator and make you some smoked jerky, or just find a way that you can do it because smoked jerky is a wonderful option to carry with you different places, road trips, things like that. But if you go buying it in the store, it is expensive. So, what about you, Dave?
I guess I'd be cooking up and packing a lot of bacon to take with me. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. Sean, how about you?
Yes, I mean about the best thing I can say is like, I don't go on road trips. And I thought about this a lot just from talking with other people who have, and like maybe take you some canned tuna or canned chicken. You can always take that stuff with you. That's good. A lot you can like most of what these other guys said with the beef jerky and the things like that. Um, That'd be my suggestion. Or, just do what you got to do and get something when along the route, maybe that could be your game, locate food. But it would be cheaper, probably a better idea to plan it out and have something to take with you though. Um, that's about all I got for that one. I lost my
Yeah,
place, guys.
I'll go ahead and find somebody. I just wanted to add another option too that I have used before. I haven't used in a long time is Vienna sausages or potted meat. It's canned nasty meat, but like if you're going to be out somewhere without refrigeration for a while, hiking or you're camping, it'll do the job. But I mean, I don't say it's not optimal.
Oh man, oh man. I'll just jump in right there. Do you guys make a lot of bone broth? What about cast iron and skillet? What you got, Kip? You make bone broth?
Nah, I probably should, but I don't really make it. I keep it simple as much as I can and just make the meat and eat the meat and enjoy that. What about one of y'all, Dave?
I've never made bone broth. I'd like to try it, but I never have at this point. Just yeah, I don't know why. Never had the motivation. Larry, how about you?
Yeah, we don't make it in the summertime, but Cassie and I were actually just talking about it today. We're going to start firing up some batches. I have a great recipe on our channel for crock pot bone broth. And yeah, it's a trip. Whenever winter comes around, the videos start doing it good again because people are searching for it, how to make beef bone broth. And it's awesome. And I'll tell you too, now that we're giving up coffee, we'll probably be drinking it every day. Before I'd make a batch and it would, last us a week, and it doesn't keep very long either. So we'd finish it up within like 4 or 5 days. But with no coffee in our diet anymore, winter's coming. It's nice to have something warm to drink, and there's nothing better than a warm, delicious, rich, hearty bone broth. So I highly recommend anybody hasn't made it and you have a crock pot, definitely make it. It takes a little time, but it's well worth it. Sean?
Absolutely. No, I haven't made any bone broth. I haven't had any bone broth in I don't know how long. It's been quite a long time. Um, I'll tell you this. I am looking forward to this. I won't Kip this. I went to Kip because I was thinking about that beef jerky that he made that what 2 months ago, and sent somebody. I'm waiting on him to send me some beef jerky, man. I got it in my head. I keep sitting by the mailbox like a little lost puppy, just waiting on it to show up.
Cassie's so excited because we got a dehydrator on the way in the mail.
Oh,
And so,
nice.
yeah, so I'll give you some of that jerky, Sean. I'm nicer than
Thank you.
Kip.
Oh man, we will have fun, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Janine, thanks for the question. Sean, you mentioned getting off medication. I was curious if you were taking antidepressants. If you were, how did you stop taking them, and did it really mess with you? I was not on antidepressants. I knew enough from my time as a medic to know that that wasn't an option that I wanted to go down, a route I wanted to take. So I was not on antidepressants. Maybe I should have been. I don't know. I haven't seen them be very successful and work very well for most people. Secondly, like no, I was on amlodipine, lisinopril, HCTZ, colchicine, and allopurinol for gout and blood hypertension, and I'm off of all of those medications. I do still take 100 milligrams of testosterone injection because my testosterone has consistently been low. That's the only medication that I'm on a consistent basis. And like as soon as I can get my testosterone to stay within a normal limit, I'm gonna start weaning off of that, like you have to do with the testosterone. Um, and I hope that I can get it there. I've had some people have told me, and some doctors have even told me that once you get on that, you can't ever get off of it. I just don't believe that. Number one, because I've been lied to so many times by doctors saying things that just aren't true, that I just don't really believe a lot of them. But secondly, I've seen testimony from people in this space who have raised their testosterone levels eating the carnivore diet. That's why, again, tell your testimony. You never know who you're going to help. Oh, thank you for the question. My buddy Daryl, what's up, man? Have y'all found your energy level are seriously better, or do you find slumps when you eat till satiety? Larry, what about you, man? Your energy better?
Oh, without a doubt, it's better. And there's no big, ups and downs, no huge peaks and deep valleys. It's like a consistent amount of energy all day long. And that's what I really love about the carnivore diet. And, when I eat, like my first meal of the day, yeah, you're full, but you get up and start doing things again. When I was on the standard American diet and I would eat, I'm ready for a nap. So my energy's what I love about it is so consistent. I'll put it that way. How about you, Kip? What about you, bud?
Um, let's see. Let me reread the question. My energy levels have been better, but I would say when I read your question, it makes me wonder if when you say satiety, what's your interpretation of that is, or like how far are you taking it? Because like, it's one thing to eat till you're full, but if you're just eating like gorging yourself till you're about to pop, like that's also gonna make it that's also gonna make you really, really lazy and not want to do anything. Like I feel like some people take what Dr. Berry says too far about, eat till you're comfortably stuffed or whatever, and they take it to like, hey, it's a challenge every meal, and like I don't think we just necessarily need to all be that full all the time, because that can make you just feel like you want to lay on the couch. What about you, Dave?
So I think the energy levels are seriously better. As Larry said, it's much more flat. You don't have the ups and downs. And I remember before, one thing with my energy was when I was playing with my daughter, like when she was 3 or 4 years old, so you're on the floor, you're throwing a ball around, you're rolling a ball across the floor, you're doing something like that. And I remember like she would be saying to me, okay, well, stand up because we've got to do this jumping thing now. And I'd be like, oh, I don't want to stand up. I don't want to stand up. I'm happy just lying on the ground. I'm happy just sitting here, or don't make me move around, please, as I'm thinking to myself. And now I don't feel that way. Like I'm quite happy moving around. I'm quite happy jumping up and down and all that kind of thing. And she's older now, so she doesn't really do that thing anymore. But it completely changed the way I am energy wise. Sean, how about you?
Oh man, it's night and day different. I can't even like we ain't got enough time. I ain't got enough coloring book and crayons to draw you a picture as big as a difference. But seriously, like I laid on the couch for 3 years. I couldn't find the motivation to do anything, and it radically transformed me. And the crazy thing was it was transforming me without me really understanding and realizing how much it was until it just came on me. Like I thought nothing was happening. I really didn't notice. I really wasn't doing a whole lot, but I started noticing when I did stand up to do something, when I did, you know, I was like, man, I've got this built up energy. I don't know where it came from, but I've got to do something. That was the day that it was like, this is crazy. It starts working on you, and like you may not be subconscious because I don't know about you guys, but in my case, I had gotten so used to living in that hole. I had accepted that this is where my lane was and I was going to be in it, and I can't get out of this lane, and I'm hopeless, and I've lost all, ability to go on. Right. And like I've got blinders on to the doors and options that are available until all of a sudden, like I'm eating this way, and all of a sudden it's like I get to an opening, and like there's plenty of space to move and run, and you get out, you move, you go, you take that opportunity, and you have everything you need to do that with. Um, I don't know how to explain it any better than that, but yeah, absolutely. My energy levels are insane compared to most normal people on a regular basis that don't have those kind of health issues and mental, depression issues. Like my energy is off the charts, but compared to who I was a year and a half ago, 100%, probably 200%. Oh, but thank you for the question. Oh, let's see here. I scroll right on. Let's see here. I got that one. All right. Roth. So does Kip's wife eat PhD? Kip,
She
does your
does.
wife eat the PhD?
She does not. I mean, I've brought it up to her multiple times, and I've tried getting her to and stuff, but I mean, she's made her decisions that she doesn't want to. So I just, as a loving husband, I just have to support her in what she chooses to do, and love her anyway. I wish she would join me, but I mean, she hasn't decided to do it. But there's been some people in my comment sections that get pretty hot about it, and I'm like, look, what do you expect me to do? I mean, she's a grown woman.
Right. Lord have mercy. Yeah, like what you gonna do? Make her? Like you think you gonna anybody? That's somebody that ain't married though. Asking like you gonna make her?
It don't work like
If you're
that.
a dude in here that makes his wife do something, get in the chat right now, and then I want to hear your wife testify to it. I bet it ain't happening. I bet your wife's not paying you no attention. Oh goodness, that's crazy. Kara, when I switched from keto to carnivore, I noticed my bowel movements really changed. I'm lucky to go to the toilet for a number two times a week. Opinions.
You don't have as much waste, you
Mm.
know. That's just, I mean,
Yeah, you
that's
don't
my
have as
belief.
much to get rid of.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, when Cassie had her surgery for her colon cancer, had part of her colon removed, we had a long discussion about a colostomy bag because there was there was a small chance she'd end up with having one for the rest of her life. And we had a discussion with the doctor, and he said, you know, you clean out somebody's colostomy bag and you'll find vegetables and you'll find different things, but you'll never find like a putrid piece of meat. You'll never find meat in there because the body uses it up. And so I'll say with confidence that's probably why you're only going a couple times a week if you're not feeling constipated. You know what I mean, Dave? Your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, same thing. Your body's using it. It varies, but I've had times where I'm thinking it's been a long time. But it's not that you feel constipated or anything. It's just that, yeah, I guess your body's using it.
Yeah.
Kip, any thoughts?
I mean, I mean, same as y'all on that, but that kind of makes me think about and I might have a question for y'all actually, because like last week, I fell off the wagon and I cheated for like about 3 days, and I had tons of carbs and sugar, and I'm not proud of it, but I learned some things from it. But one of the things that I noticed was that I got super constipated. Like every day I was constipated and it was annoying me. Like normally on carnivore, I'm just like, go and it's regular. I mean, you barely even got to wipe. And then, once I was having all those carbs, that's the issue that I was having. But then once I started back, I noticed early this week, about 2 days after starting back, things started like loosening back up again. So has any of y'all ever fell off the wagon before? And dealt with that issue? What do y'all think might have caused the constipation? Is it just the carbs or the sugar or what?
Well, I'll say absolutely. When Cassie and I fell and a couple times, yeah, everything gets screwed up. You get constipated, and yeah, that's exactly what it was, buddy. Sean, anything to add to that?
Man, I don't know anybody who hasn't fallen off the wagon at least once and had something that wasn't technically on the plan. Everybody has. It's the consistency, you know that. But secondly, like I have never fallen more than a meal off, like, so it wasn't like a consistent thing. And like I don't know if maybe it's just because I didn't keep doing it or do a lot of it. Like I had a plan in place and I followed the plan, and it wasn't technically on the carnivore plan, but it was on my plan, and that's literally all I've done. So I mean, I don't know if it's the amount that I put in my body or what, but no, I haven't really had the issue with the closest thing that I had to what you're talking about right now is I had some cake at my nephew's birthday, July the 4th, when I went up to my brother's, and like I felt, because that's definitely not on the plan, and it destroyed me. Like my stomach was all kind of messed up, for like maybe a day, but that's the only time I've really had any issue like that at all. Dave, you got anything on that, bro?
I've never fallen off long enough, but I would say, to me, Kip, it sounds like all that essential nutrition from fiber that you consumed during that fall off the wagon. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
That's all I've got.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Thank you for the question. And let's see here. Dharma, anyone have any information on carnivore and sleep apnea? I've recently been diagnosed and would like to avoid the CPAP machine, etc. Yeah, so I mean, I have, Larry has. I don't know about Dave and Kip if you guys had sleep apnea. Larry, would you want to share about that with him?
Yeah. I mean, there's two different reasons you get sleep apnea. One is a structural issue where you got like, some kind of something's up with your passageways, or you're overweight, and that's what mine was from being, 354 pounds at 6 feet tall. And so I just need to get down to my healthy weight, and I'll be able to get rid of my sleep apnea. Cassie here, I've lost 100 pounds so far, and I'm about probably 50, 60 pounds from my goal weight. And Cassie's heard me sleep on the couch, and I haven't seen a sleep doctor in quite a while, many, many years. But she says I'm sleeping much better. Like she'll just sit there and listen to me if I fall asleep during a movie or something. But like Chris Spath, Laura Spath's husband, he got off his sleep apnea machine, threw it in the garbage, doesn't need it anymore. So I'm looking forward to that day. If you guys can see this big red thing right here, that's from my CPAP. And I just, oh my gosh, it's like I walk around and people are looking at me like I got hit with a rubber stamp. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't wait to get rid of that CPAP machine. So carnivore diet will take care of it. If it's from being overweight. Dave or Sean, Sean, you have sleep apnea.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so I had never technically been diagnosed, but I did sleep with a CPAP machine, and I absolutely had it. But apparently it was because of my weight. Because whenever I dropped the weight, I came off of it, or I do come off of it. Every once in a while, I got in the habit of sleeping with it on, like so much so that every once in a while, like I will sleep without it, but sometimes I'll find out I reach for it and put it on my face, even though I don't need it, just because I got used to sleeping with it on.
Yep.
And sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and I will have jerked that thing off and slung it or something. So it's weird, man. It's weird how it affects you like that. But yeah, mine absolutely, whatever problems I was having, I quit breathing about 13 to 17 times an hour, every hour
Wow.
whenever I started. And whenever I finally got done with it, I don't, it's always giving me zeros, so I'm not quitting the breathing anymore. So there is hope for you. A lot of people have the same testimony, being able to come off of it. So
Mm.
stick with it. Hopefully, you'll be able to not have to go on the CPAP machine. But I will say this too. Let me say this right up front. If they tell you that you need it because you stop breathing, you 100% need to get it, because that's a life and death. Like, you quit breathing when you're in the middle of your sleep and you're checking out. So like, it's very important. The quality of sleep that you get is going to be directly related to your ability to lose weight. If you're not getting good sleep, it's going to inhibit your ability to lose weight. Okay. Your cortisol is going to be higher, your mood's going to be worse, you're not going to be getting the rest, your body can't recoup for many reasons. So even though it sucks, even though I hate it, and I hate to even be the guy, saying it, but like, you definitely, if you need it, get it temporarily till you can get to your goal, get where you need to be, because it made a huge difference in me. And getting a good night's sleep is so beneficial. So that's my 2 cents. And I'm not a doctor or giving you medical advice. That's just my thing. Absolutely. Thank you. Could someone please explain the no coffee thing? I love coffee. Larry, that's y'all's challenge, brother. What you got?
Larry
Hello?
don't hear us.
What's that? You were buffering, Sean. What did you say?
Oh, my bad. Well,
No,
no,
it wasn't your fault. Go ahead.
oh no, it just said, could someone please explain the no coffee thing? I love coffee, and I said, I'll let Larry explain it. Larry,
Oh
it's their challenge.
man, I love coffee, and so does Cassie. She recently got some lab results that were a little concerning. Video will actually be out tomorrow, and she's got to give up the coffee, and I 100% support her on it. It's a very pretty serious thing, so we got to do it. We tried to give it up when we did the lion diet a few months ago. We documented the whole thing on the channel, but that third day I woke up with a headache. Like you would believe it was one of the worst headaches of my life, like a tequila hangover headache. And we carnivores drink coffee, enjoy it. But I think there's a point where you come to, let's try and cut it out. We tried once, and we're going to try it again. I really do believe, it is a toxin. It's not good for you. Would I keep drinking it if Cassie hadn't gotten those results? Probably. But we just, for this challenge, we're just cutting out. Actually, our challenge is whatever plan you have for the month. If you're keto, carnivore, whatever you're doing, stick to it for the entire month. Don't stray. Kip's doing the sea lion diet, so Kip's got to stick to that 100% the entire month, without falling off, and also implementing some accountability if you never have before, because that helps a lot of people. So I mean, that's where the no coffee part of our personal challenge came in. So I hope that helps. But I love coffee. Dave?
I love coffee too, but yeah, I know it's not good for me. It interrupts my sleep. It probably doesn't help me metabolically and stuff. I'd like to give it up, but it's not a high priority at the moment for me. But yeah, I think most people that are talking about wanting to give up coffee, it's because it's negatively impacting them in some way, whether it's sleep or something else. So that's all it is. Adam and Eve, Judy family. Kip, anything to add?
Well, I would just say if you're one of those people that's thinking about it in the back of your mind, like the fact that you're asking the question, then maybe you could try it for a month and see what happens. Because you need to have enough willpower to give up something. Like, because if you can't give it up, then you're letting it rule your life. So you need to have enough willpower to say, I can give it up. So give it up for a month and see how your body feels. See if you notice any difference at all. You may not notice any difference at all, and then you might be like, hey, I'm gonna just drink coffee again. And that's a personal decision. I'm not saying that coffee's bad, but like, you do need to be able to give it up. Otherwise, it's like a drug in your life, and you're letting it rule you. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I gave coffee up for 5 months, man. But like I added it back in, and I like coffee. I really, really, really have been considering giving it up. I should have done it with the challenge, but I just ain't ready to do it again. It doesn't help. Honestly, I feel like I have less energy when I drink coffee, but for whatever reason, I'm addicted. I like it, you know. Um, but I do want to see what it's like to be this far along and be like completely like no coffee, no nothing, you know. So
Like
I,
like Chafee says, that last 5%, if you do it
yeah,
correctly, you'll be amazed at how much better you feel. And that intrigues
hmm
me. And that's why we tried to do it before, because I heard him say that on Lila Kane's channel and a couple other interviews. And it kind of stuck
hmm
in my head, just beef and salt and
hmm
water. You do that, imagine doing that for 6 months, be
I've,
interesting.
I've actually started cutting the butter out like this whole week. I've been cutting the butter out of my what I'm eating, so I'm starting to tighten it up. If I can get rid of the butter, 2 days I didn't. I think it was 2 days. Maybe it was just one that when I didn't have eggs. I just had beef and water and coffee. And so like I'm working on it, but I've also got some other things in plan I don't really want to go completely hardcore into right now. Um, but I've got some stuff lined up that I think is going to be really cool, and I'm going to experiment with, and I'm going to bring to everybody. I'm getting ready to let's see. I got some. This guy got jokes. Shout out to the family, Larry, Curly, Mo, and Dave. Thanks for the super
Homesick
chat.
Buckeye.
Yeah,
Homesick
homesick Buckeye. He got jokes. Oh, and then my buddy Carnivore Chuck, come out and see us in the morning at 11. Yeah, have a good time. Hey, fellows, great show. Looking forward to talking with me in the morning. Absolutely. Appreciate you, brother. I'm looking forward to it as well. Oh, see ya in the morning. You guys see, I think it was this one. Yeah, Esther asked, do any of you guys have trouble with heart rhythms or pounding heart at the beginning of your carnivore journey? Thanks for all your input and care for others. Any of you guys have any issues with heart rhythms or anything? Kip?
For me, I didn't notice that, but I do remember watching some videos when I first started, and there was some people, some doctors that had mentioned that, I believe, but I don't remember what their remedy was or what the answer to that question would be. So I'll have to defer to Larry or one of y'all. Larry, you got anything?
No, it never happened to me, but a lot of people in our community I've heard say that they had heart palpitations. Like, man, what's going on here? It's, but they passed. So, but anything medical, check out Dr. Camberry, Dr. Chafee, all the doctors. So, Dave, any personal experience with this?
No personal experience, and but as not a doctor, I would, I could see it being a normal thing for some people, like when you're making a transition from a high carb diet to suddenly a high fat diet, there's that transition period where basically your body's kind of mixing the two things and your body's trying to work out what it's doing and stuff, and probably things are going a bit haywire. But yeah, as Larry said, best to check out with a doctor just to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, I definitely would check with the doctor. Whenever I first started walking, I felt like my heart was going to blow out of my chest. Now, whether that was simply because I was over 400 pounds, lugging 400 pounds around like that, I don't know. But it did feel weird. It didn't. I don't know. Maybe you could describe it as it was when I was transitioning over. I don't know, but it was something distinct. In my chest. I always thought I was going to have a heart attack, but I was like, I was full of energy, and I was, I was like so determined that this is going to happen that I was like, get there or die trying, seriously. I mean, that's in my mindset at that time. That's what I was just developing. Like, but you know, if you're having heart palpitations, it's easy. A lot of people can. I've heard people talking about developing atrial fibrillation, or having atrial fibrillation, and it doing weird things when they're transitioning. There again, it's not caused by the diet. It's just the transition period and the things that we've already done to our heart. So definitely get it checked out. Check with the doctor. Oh, thank you for the question. Let's see here. Do you guys see anything that I missed?
I saw low carb carnivore. Man, it was a while ago. He asked quite or about his dentures, and I just wanted to say, man, I'm glad to hear you're having an easier time eating. Sorry about that, Sean, but he was talking about that denture video, and he's had a
Oh
lot of.
yeah.
He's having an easier time chewing now, so I'm happy for you, man.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
awesome, brother. That's a good victory. Like I said, I missed things. I don't want to miss something. I'm trying to scroll through.
It's
Let's
so
see
easy to
here.
it's so easy to miss some things when you're
Man,
hosting.
100% trying to keep up with it and talk and keep my. Oh, Nurse Kim, do you think men and women should eat the same type of carnivore foods, or do you think there's a difference in what our bodies do best on? Ribeye every day has slowed my weight loss.
Hmm.
Dave, what you got, bro?
So I would say there may be differences between men and women. I don't know. But I think person to person, there are going to be differences. Like the way that I react to particular foods is going to be the way different to how Sean, how Larry, or how Kip does as well. Like we're all got to kind of find what our balance is. And yeah, that's all I got. Larry, any thoughts?
Yeah, I really don't think it has to do with gender so much. I think it has to do with the individual person. As far as men and women eating, all I know is our last meal of August, Cassie made us a steak with four big, beautiful scallops each, and we sat down, we said our prayers, and then I proceeded to take two of the scallops and put them on her plate because she loves them so much. That's a hint for you guys. You want a happy wife. She got the biggest smile. And she's like, no, no, you take him. But she loves scallops. So,
I need to do that this month because that's
yeah,
acceptable on my challenge.
have some scallops. They are absolutely delicious. Anyway, that's all I got
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, like honestly, I think I've seen that issue raised so many times. Till like I want to grow hair to pull it out again. Like it's like there may be differences in amounts that you need to eat, men versus women, but honestly, the same nutrients that run your body are going to be the same nutrients that run my body. It's the same stuff. I don't understand why they're like the same types of foods.
Can I,
Um,
can I add one thing, Sean? I'm sorry.
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you. I do want to say is Sean's absolutely right. The only thing I would add is the fasting. Women, we since we did our fast February, we learned a lot since then. And fasting can be harder on women, but as far as what you're putting in your body, like Sean says, we all need the same nutrients. And that's spot on. Cassie and I, our entire journey, basically ate the same thing. And we both had great results. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, Sean. I just knew I'd forget my point. So back to you.
yeah, no, it's all good. Like, I mean, and that's the whole thing. Like, the ribeye a day has slowed my weight loss. Well, maybe you need less. Maybe you need more fat. Maybe you need more sleep. Maybe you need less stress. I mean, blaming it on the ribeye. How do you know it was the ribeye? How do you know? Why would you blame it on the ribeye if you like maybe your cortisol was higher? Maybe it was closer to your time of the month. Maybe it was, something going on but the ribeye takes the blame. I've ate ribeye since September of last year about every day, and my weight loss until I got real close to where I'm at my goal weight and what I'm supposed to weigh never slowed down. And it may not be now. I just quit weighing because I don't care anymore of what I weigh. I really, it's not a priority to me. I feel fine. I look all right to me. I mean, what can I do? But I would just like knock out the preconceived notions. Maybe that ribeye is the one thing that's helped you get to where you are. I don't know. Keep fighting for the answers though. Same nutrients, my friend. Oh, let's see here. Anybody else? We coming up on an hour and 20 minutes. We about to rock this one out for this week. I've had a great time. I hope you guys have too. Anything you guys want to share before we close it up, Dave? You got anything coming up you want to share with everybody?
What have I got coming up? I've got some interviews coming up over the next week, and some lives. And I'd just like to say, same as every week, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Thank you for your questions, your super chats, and thank you to Sean, Kipp, and Larry for joining me in this as well, because it's great camaraderie. It's great to have friends around that all share the same kind of interest in a major part of your life, health. So, Larry, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, we got a few things going on this week. We just got merchandise out, guys. Finally, after a year and a half of everybody asking, we finally did that. And we got a video coming out tomorrow with Cassie's lab results. And then we'll also have a video, an update on my sister's kids that you guys all requested. And she's got one other video on how to make beef tallow, which was a process. But other than that, thank you guys for having me. Had a great time. As always, I mentioned in our Facebook group, come join us this evening. This is really therapeutic for me, hanging out, having a little fellowship. It is a form of accountability, in a way. So, and I love you guys and I appreciate everybody watching. And Kipp, what you got going on the channel, man?
Going on the channel, I'm probably just gonna take a little bit of downtime this weekend, and it's the opening of football season, so I'm excited about that. We'll spend some time with my family, watch some football. I'm still gonna stay true to my diet. Every other football season, when it's football season, you make stuff like some bizarre dishes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna stay true to what I know to do. But before I end, I wanted to say, Sean, my wife, she just texted me and she said, I asked Sean a question. So that's me, my way of knowing that if I want to ask this question, so I had to go back and look at what the question was. So answer this question, Sean, so that I don't get in trouble with my wife, because I definitely don't want to be in trouble. So
I
the
don't want you to
question
be in trouble
was,
either.
that greens or that background that you have, is that a green screen or is that your beautiful house?
That's
No,
the
it's a green screen, bro. Let's see if I can make it.
So if
You can
she's
see the
watching, she
real
knows that you're not living in the Hamptons or something like
dude.
that.
If it was my house can fit inside this little contraption right here, the fireplace. You could take my whole house and put it inside that little fireplace right there. Like that's really it. No, it's a green screen. Yeah, because I've got it set up to where my office I stream from the same place where I do my job. I work from, and like it's all the same area. And yeah, so it just makes it a little more convenient. I wish it was. I wish I lived in a little spot like this. But if I did, I'd have to like pawn off my kids and all kinds of stuff, man, and still probably couldn't make it happen. So definitely not.
Thanks for answering it, because now I feel safe whenever I leave this studio tonight.
You're
Yeah, I don't
safe.
want you to get in trouble, man. I know she'll put the hammer down on you, boy. I
Oh
know.
yeah.
I want to recognize before we take off super chat. Thank you, Steve. Steve said, "I'm digging the Dr. Berry group. Thank you so much. He's one of the guys that made the 5 giveaway. I have fulfilled that. Those 5 have been notified. It's been paid for, and they got their passwords. They're able to get into the group. I hope they love it. I fulfilled my commitment. Hopefully, I can get Dr. Berry on the channel here pretty soon. But I hadn't talked a lot about that. But I appreciate your thankfulness, brother. It means a lot to me, and paying it forward because I believe in what I'm doing, man. Honestly, you're one of the guys that hopefully will go on and reach other people as well, and the concentric circle will continue to go. We pass it on, we share things we do, we share with those that we love, and that's the whole reason why I got started. So I appreciate you guys extremely. And I love you guys, man. I love you guys, meeting with you guys on Fridays, Saturdays. It doesn't matter the day, we're together, and that's what matters to me. And so until next time, I appreciate you guys, and I'll just look forward to it, man. It definitely helps. And come join us next time, 11 o'clock, and we'll see you then. Share it, like it with your family, with your friends. Bring somebody with you next week, and we'll see you then. All right. Love you guys. Stay strong and keep pushing forward.
Take care.